Hi, welcome back. This is the review of the Mini Cooper 1.5 138 horsepower turbo petrol. Stay tuned, I'll let you know what I think. So this is the standard Mini Cooper. This one has the 1.5 litre turbo engine, I think about 140 horsepower, 138. As you can see, it's got the tiny wheels on it, but more of that later because that does make a difference to the way it drives. Got the little bonnet hump. This one comes with the LED option headlights, and you also got the LED daytime running light, which turns into an indicator. On this newer model, it's the full circle, if you like, or whereas on the previous model it was a kind of half moon shape. Moving round to the back again, just want to show you the rear lights as well, in case you didn't notice that before. They're the Union Jacks on these newer ones, which looks really cool, and also LED, fully LED again, which is good. So if you get one of these, I would definitely spec the LED headlights. They are very good. Again, being the standard model, it's just got the standard cloth seats. Perfectly comfortable though, nice, hold you in place well. They are very lovely interior on these things. This is the automatic model, so it's a 7-speed auto on the newer version. It's a 6-speed on the older version, and they changed the kind of lever. It's now like a robot thumb. On the older one, it's a more conventional style sort of shift. It hasn't got paddle shifters on this one, which I'm not sure if that's an option. I have a feeling it might be an option. The vehicle we've got is the S, which you'll see my other video on the S. And also I've had the SD in for review as well, and that one has paddle shifters, but I don't know if that's an S specific option or not, but it would be nice if this one had them. But it's a great auto gearbox, no issues, torque converter auto, so quite smooth. Yeah, really good. To be honest, I'm a big auto fan, so I probably would always prefer the auto over the manual, and the clutch is a little stiff on the manual from what I've found out. So rear room, tiny as you can imagine, with it being a mini, but yeah, it's enough for small adults if you like, just on a short journey, depending on the size of the people sitting in the front, because you've not much leg room, as you can see. That's quite far backward though, that passenger seat, so it's not a perfect example, but let's put this in the position I would sit in, and as you can see, there's not that much leg room there, so not the best. Let's show you the boot. Again, not very big, but what you can do in these, obviously drop the back seats down. Let's do that. So that increases the size a little bit. What I've found that you can do is you can fit a mountain bike in. However, you have to take both wheels off, and you have to put the passenger seat slightly forward in order to achieve that. But nevertheless, a mountain bike will go in the back. It's a bit of a faff taking all the wheels off it, but and then you have to like cover everything so you don't catch the bits of mountain bike frame on the plastics and the back of the seat and things like that. But I have done it, so it's useful to know it is possible. On most models, you get like a cover that goes over this, and then you can lift the cover up. This one hasn't got it though, and it hasn't got the attachments either for that to happen, so that must be an extra that this one's missing. Mine's got it. Of course, as they do with everything now, you don't get a spare wheel, you just get a little inflation kit. Oh, that's the locking wheel nut as well. That's where that's hidden. There you go. So yeah, great place inside, comfortable. So now on to driving it. Nice infotainment system on these. You get the knob here to adjust for controlling it, various buttons. It's quite intuitive. Obviously it's a BMW based system and they do make some of the best infotainment systems, so very good. Quite pleased with that. This isn't a very high spec one in that regard. It hasn't got sat nav, this one, and it's got this kind of smaller display. You can see there's kind of a black mark each side, and the bigger version doesn't have those, and has sat nav as well. But comes with things like tyre pressure monitoring, and various other bits and bobs as standard, so quite useful. What I was going to suggest is the fuel economy on this one, being it the petrol model, is actually quite impressive. I was quite surprised. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. Oh no, that's 43.5, and that is including a thrash across some back roads on the way home last night. I think it reached about 48 or 49 on the motorway, and then when I came thrashing back over the back roads, it's dropped down to 43.5, and I think that's pretty remarkable actually, considering you know, I wasn't exactly driving it economically, let's say. So on to driving, as you can imagine, it's a Mini, so it's pretty good fun. Nice short wheelbase, so nice agile handling. As I mentioned earlier, this one's on the smaller wheels, 15-inch wheels with quite a large sidewall profile. That means that it soaks the bumps up pretty well compared to, say, the S models. And I think that makes quite a difference to the way it drives. Obviously it doesn't look anywhere near as good, but if you can live with the kind of looks of having a small wheel, I think it's quite a useful kind of addition to the you know, the Mini's kind of driving. Busy morning. I can't say I'd recommend the smaller wheels though, because I think they just look terrible. But if you really are buying one just because you want to have some driving fun and you don't want to pay loads of money on tyres, it really is worth considering just getting the standard wheels. But I personally wouldn't do it because I just don't think I could stand those looks. It just looks too under-wheeled, I think. Maybe a 16-inch option would be a good sort of compromise rather than the 17s from the kind of Cooper S, although the Cooper S 17s do just look so much better. That kind of shorter, narrower tyre wall does make it quite harsh on the bumps on the S model, whereas this, I've purposely brought it down a kind of bumpy back road, British B road as we say, and it's soaking up the bumps lovely. I mean, yeah, the suspension is, you know, rigid-ish. It needs to be able to cope with the cornering, but it's not uncomfortable at all. It's it's a big noticeable difference between jumping from the S model and then jumping into this one. It's quite a considerable difference in ride comfort. I was quite surprised, and this rides so much nicer than the S model. But yeah, lovely car. The one thing I have noticed on it though, and I don't think I've noticed this on the S, is the road noise. The road noise is pretty high, especially on the motorway. So I don't know if that's something to do with tyres or what, I don't know. But pretty high. I need to kind of go back into the S and do a comparison and see if you know, it's something I've just noticed because I've noticed it and I just live with it on the other one. So, but yeah, the feel through the corners is great. The steering's good. Obviously, these things handle really well anyway, so they're really fun cars, and this is no exception. Even the base model, and there's enough go as well. It's quite a good engine, this one. 138 horsepower, 200 newton meters of torque. It's a very good combination. So it's enough, let's say, on the road, and of course the weight of the car is hardly anything, so it really does give you quite a decent sort of turn of speed. Not bad at all. Surprising I was, given the S model starts at 192 horsepower, so that's 50 down, isn't it? And I think 280 newton meters of torque. So you're actually not that far off torque wise to the S model, and it feels it. Right, let's nice bit of clear road. S, let's go. Great feeling and great handling car. Love it. Really does make a difference on these smaller wheels. I'm not buying them for the S though. But on these bumpy back roads, it just soaks it up so much better. You've got enough pull out of the corners, short wheelbase, so it darts in. Really good. And traffic. Just shows you can have some good fun on these back roads without breaking any speed limits. So what's my verdict? Well, I like it. I think you should definitely consider one. And do I go S or Cooper? Well, obviously that depends on personal kind of finances, insurance, things like that. But if you can't quite stretch to the S, this is a worthy alternative for sure. And of course, being a Mini, you can spec it to pretty much whatever you want. You can make it look like an S, but have the kind of cheaper running costs and still reasonably decent performance. So yeah, love it. Brilliant car. Thanks for watching. See you next time.